Happy Monday, everyone! It is the start of another weekly reading vlog. Don't do it. Yeah. Okay, so this morning was quite eventful. I had physio, which is great, and then as I left physio, I realized I had a flat tire. Yay! So I had to get that sorted out, obviously. It actually didn't take as long as I've had to wait for roadside assistance, which was nice, but it makes me more aware of the fact that I really need new tires. Oh, I'm sorry. Cat. Yeah, I really need new tires, so that's kind of been on my brain the whole day today. Figuring that out. But this morning I did finish City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I gave it 5 stars. It was great. It's probably one of my first forays into middle grade since I was actually that age group. I've not really revisited that genre before, and I really enjoyed it. It was simple, it got to the point, it was super atmospheric. I really loved the world that she created, and the characters that she created too. I thought they were incredible, and it didn't drag, it didn't seem like I didn't get enough information. Just everything was really good, and I really enjoyed my experience with it. So I would highly recommend City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, which makes me even more excited to get to Vicious. Hopefully this week, we'll see. I have so many books that I just keep remembering that I want to read. Oh. But this is quite high on the list. So like I mentioned last night, I did start Dear Evan Hansen. It is proving quite a fast read. I haven't gotten to much of it today, but I am already at chapter 6, and it's still very emotional. I can just feel the despair that the musical actually shows really well. If you've seen the musical, you'll understand what I mean by just the overall feeling of sadness and despair and loneliness, honestly. So it is quite a tough read. It's not exactly light to get through, but there are moments where you get to have like a little laugh, or you find out like new information, or even like there's a little quip towards perhaps one of the songs. Like, not to brag, but I saw this incredible 40-foot tall oak tree and I started climbing it, and then and so I wrote, I'm sending pictures of the most amazing trees at the bottom, because obviously you'll just be jealous of all his forest expertise. So that's all I've gotten to so far today. My next task is to reorganize these guys. That's as far as I can lift my arm right now. This is going to be interesting. I should be okay. Essentially, every time I organize my books, it's for pretty much the exact amount of books I have at the time, and then it's quite hard to just slot in new books. So they sort of just collect in different places, and then I need to actually get them into the shelves, into the places that I would like them to be. So I need to reorganize everything, basically. Hopefully it won't take too long, but you can watch a bit of that, I guess, and I will show you the aftermath of what it looks like. I did also forget to mention at the flower show, rose show thing that I ended up at yesterday, which was like crazy busy, so many people. I did get my vegan cinnamon donuts though, so that was great. I picked up this cute little succulent in a little elephant. It's already growing some really cute little baby ones on the side, so I'm going to have this guy in my room. I'm a little bit nervous about it because the last succulents that I had in my room actually died, and supposedly succulents are meant to be really hard to like kill. but I managed. I don't know what it was. So my succulents that are out in and around the house are doing great and thriving. So maybe I was just too new to the succulent world and didn't know what I was doing. Maybe my room kills things, I don't know. But we're gonna find out, and I'm going to keep this guy in here. So at the moment he's just sitting up there, but I don't know, he'll probably move around until I figure out exactly where I want him or where he thrives the most. We shall see. Anyway, I'm just putting off taking books out of this shelf and reorganizing them. Let's do it. So I finished my bookshelves. I'm actually a lot happier with them now than I was previously. But again, as soon as I get more books, I will have to reorganize. So I'll give you a really quick rundown across them. So I didn't change any of these. These are still my Game of Thrones shelf, my Sarah J Maas into Sarah J Maas shelf, my Harry Potter into Harry Potter shelf, my Twilight shelf. And then across here we start in sort of my color coordination going down. I'm actually really happy with how this is. I was a little bit frustrated with it before, but I feel like it's looking pretty good. And then it comes across and up this way. And then we go into my series shelves. So these two are currently series. They're not even complete series, so as soon as I get more in those series, I will have some trouble. But yeah, and this is a beautiful little illustration my friend Celeste did of my dog Fox. I did get about 2 hours listened to of The Raven King. Again, I am loving it. The Raven Cycle is incredible. I have ordered it, so can't wait to actually get hardcover copies of that and eventually do a reread of them, but not from audiobook, because I think there's a lot more in there that I will get from physically reading it, and I'm super excited about that. So yeah, I do listen to it on 1.5, 1.8 speed depending on how I'm feeling at the time. So that's how I got 2 hours listened to in just that short amount of time. So now it is time for dinner, and later on I'm probably just going to edit last week's vlog and read a little bit more of Dear Evan Hansen. So that is today, done and dusted. Yes. Hello, hello, long time no update. My bad. I thought I would give you an update. It is now Saturday, the 17th of November, and I've not done as much reading as I would have liked this week. I am on page 242 of Dear Evan Hansen, chapter 19, almost 20. There is less than 100 pages to go, so I will definitely be able to finish this either tonight or tomorrow morning. And then I only have, it says 4 hours, however I'm listening to it on 2 point speed. So roughly 2 hours left of The Raven King, and just everything's coming together. Everything's getting so serious. I just yeah, hi. Sorry, I just got home, so awesome. Yeah, everything is coming together right now. Everyone's in peril, the stakes are high, and it's all about to happen. I can just feel it in my bones. So I'm a little bit nervous for that. There's also a like relationship, a canon relationship that's happening that I didn't think would happen, and I had heard about, but I thought it was fan-made, not canonically present. But it's there, so okay. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not sure about it because I like really didn't see it coming until this book. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, after I finish that, I'm so at a loss of what to read next because there's so many things that I want to. I think I am going to start back on picking up 2 books at one time, like 2 hard copy books at one time. And I am going to start Neverworld Wake because I want to buddy read this with one of the girls at work, and she's already on like chapter 3 or 4, so I want to get into that, and so we can discuss it. Oh gosh. So that we can discuss it at work. And then obviously I have Vicious, and I also have Nevermore that I want to read as well. And I also do actually want to start the Savage Song because I finally got a copy of Our Dark Duet so that I can actually read the duology together. There's just not enough time in my life to read. I just wish I could read more. I mean, I could cut out things like, you know, TV and YouTube, but they're too fun. So yeah, I will catch you tomorrow having finished a book, at least one, if not both, and starting something new. The start of something new. Yeah. Hi. Oh, yeah. Happy Sunday, everyone. I have decided to have a no makeup pajama day. I mean, every day is kind of like a pajama day when I'm at home, but I took it to the extreme today and I've like not left the house, which means that yes, I finished Dear Evan Hansen. I didn't cry, I'll say that. I did get quite emotional and I was filled with it all, but the way it played out reading wise, I just didn't hit that emotion, I guess, as much as I did watching it and really seeing someone feeling that emotion in the musical. It was really cool to see the songs from the musical get put into words in the book. I really enjoyed finding a few lines and stuff like that throughout the book. So I gave it a 4.5 5-star rating. I did really love it. I think my love of the musical really hyped it up for me and kind of made me want a little bit more from it, I feel like. But it was still an incredible read, really beautiful read, really important themes, so I still highly recommend it, but like, watch the musical first if you can. And I also finished The Raven King today, and it wasn't my favorite in the series. It did not sort of finish how I thought it was going to, and it kind of feels a little unfinished, very open-ended. I get it, but also it kind of annoys me. Yeah, I think I still absolutely adore the Raven Cycle series. I think Maggie Stivada made amazing characters in there. I think my favorite out of the series would be probably the Dream Thieves. It's probably a tie between the Dream Thieves and the Raven Boys. Then probably Blue Lily, Lily Blue, then the Raven King, I think. At the moment, that's how it stands. I did also start Neverworld Wake. I am currently on chapter 4. I began this because one of the girls at work has started reading it, and I said that we would buddy read it, and she kept asking me every time she saw me. She was like, have you started Neverworld Wake? I was like, no. I've started it now. It's begun. I really don't know where it's going. So essentially it's this group of friends that haven't spoken in over a year come back together, and then they are in a car crash and they end up in this sort of limbo world called the Neverworld Wake, and they have to decide on one person surviving this car crash while the rest of them like actually die rather than stay in this limbo space. But at the moment in chapter 4 they don't actually believe this is happening. They were just told by this really weird old guy in just a matter-of-fact way. So at this point they're like, I don't think so, we're in a normal life. So it's sort of just beginning to happen, I think, and I can see how the friendship is going to really come into play, like who is still an honest friend to each other and all of that stuff. So we'll see how it goes. It's not as fast of a read as I'd hoped. It is actually quite dense in terms of there is so much information in one sentence, almost unnecessarily so. I found, like, you just don't need as much information for each character, but I'll see how this plays out. At this point I'm a bit like, calm down, that's a lot to talk about, but we'll see. And even though I've been talking about wanting to read Vicious and Vengeful and The Savage Song and like a million other books, I want to go back and finish off Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I started reading this a little while ago. I'm on chapter 4, ironically, the same as Neverworld Wake, but this is clearly much larger. I was for a time just reading this in between, but I really want to actually just like get back into the Harry Potter world because I went and saw Crimes of Grindelwald, right? I enjoy it, but it's like it's this whole separate entity to Harry Potter and to the magic that these books really give to you and the heart that they give to you. And I mean, the original movies do pretty well, at least the first few. I feel like towards the end they just became the same sort of film structure that you see in everything else, and they kind of lost their heart a little, but we forgave them. They were still great. They were still the original characters. But Crimes of Grindelwald, if you've seen it, I feel like you know what I'm saying. They've just introduced brand new information with zero explanation, and I don't know how I feel about it. So I kind of just want to forget and go back to Harry Potter. And yeah, this is going to be the best way to do it, I think, is going back to the classics. I think so. In terms of audiobooks, I don't actually know what I'm going to read next. I don't know what I've got set up on the Scribd, because the thing with Scribd, it only has titles available like in Australia. So while it might be available in America or elsewhere, they're not there for us. And it is kind of minimal, which is why I was so excited that I found the Raven Cycle on it. If you go searching enough, you can find other things. So I'm just gonna have a bit of a look and see what I want to read next. I definitely want to have an audiobook going because it is really nice and calming for when I drive, especially in the mornings when you don't really feel like blasting music or anything like that. So yeah, that is my weekly wrap up. I hope you enjoyed. This was a much more minimal vlog, I feel like. It's gonna happen. I had a busy week. I had a bit of an off week with my mental health, so I can't really help that. But yeah, I will see you next week, and I'll hopefully get one of these done. Maybe a completely different book, who knows. I seem to not follow my own wants and needs, or I do, but almost too much, and I change them at a whim. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!